Good evening, grinders, investors. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday evening. I did miss you guys yesterday, so my apologies to that. But let's get right back into action. So, I want to talk about something that I have been noticing in the past, let's say, past 2 weeks. And it's been very prevalent this week and throughout the weekend, some of the research and reading I was doing. But I keep hearing about this AI stock market bubble. And past couple of weeks, we see Oracle take off. We see a lot of partnerships with OpenAI, and every time there's a new partnership unleashed or there's new reporting on that, whatever stocks we're discussing take off. And it just seems like it's a lot of fear of missing out. A lot of people that are trying to jump on the next train, and it's getting, to be quite honest, it's getting a little bit uncomfortable. The markets, the indexes keep hitting highs, and we can look at that right now. I believe S&P 500 ended a 70-day streak of consistent gains. So we did hit a new high today of 6,754. But although we did hit a new high, we did close lower. All the indexes, three major indexes plus the Russell, all closed lower today. Russell closed actually more than 1% lower. Dow closed 0.2% lower. Nasdaq about 7 tenths lower, and S&P 500 about 4 tenths lower today. And that consistently kind of happens when you hit these new highs. We get a little bit of a easing off of those new highs, and hopefully there's more buyers come in and we push higher. But recently, some big names, people, when they speak, we listen to what they have to say. Folks like billionaire investors Ray Dalio and Paul Tudor Jones expressed concerns that AI-driven market is showing signs of euphoria, reminding them of the dot-com bubble in the 1990s. And so those of you who are a little bit younger, I was born in 88, you might not remember exactly what went on. So I did a little bit of research just to familiarize myself, even though I had a broad or a decent idea exactly what happened. But in the late 1990s, there was massive speculation and investment poured into internet companies, driving stock prices to extreme and unsustainable levels. And then in March 2000, the bubble burst, causing the market to crash and wiping out trillions of dollars in market value. And there's a lot of people saying it seems a lot of familiar here. And I honestly believe that there's some companies that are either just new companies, just had a recent IPO, and see those IPOs just go absolutely crazy. We saw Figma bullish some crypto companies that once their IPO open, their share prices took off, and you've seen them falling significantly from those highs. So there's a lot of, like it said, euphoria on the market. There's a lot of people chasing. Maybe a lot of people that were not invested early in the year in investing heavily in April at the bottom, and then if you weren't invested then or you sold into that dip, you probably didn't take advantage of that ride up where we are right now, and so you're trying to find ways to throw a bunch of capital in at once and try to get these significant and substantial gains that some people have realized if they just stuck through and stayed invested throughout this entire year. But that's easier said than done, right? It's hard to watch your portfolios lose value every single day like it was in April, in the spring of this year. But there are some companies that I think that are at a discount right now and are major players in the AI trade that you guys should be mindful of. And they're no secret. We've talked about them before. First up is Meta. Meta is a team, or I should say, Mark Zuckerberg has built and created a super intelligence team to push their AI initiatives further and try to be a leader, because it seems like Meta with their LLM has fallen behind your Anthropics, your Chat GPTs. Every time that they release something new, it might be, the best thing for that week, but it seems like there's another update from one of their rivals that takes it a little bit higher, and then, Meta just feels like they're still, chasing and then left behind. But they have, number one, a CEO that seems like he's got, the blueprint to continue to push Meta shares higher and bring in more profit, more revenue for the company. They have a business that is bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars consistently with its ad business. And so this is a company that's fundamentally sound, not like some of these companies that just attach AI to their business, but there's really there's no profits. There's no even no sign of any type of profits or any type of return on their investment as far as AI. But Meta has a plan. They're spending a lot of money, on finding talent, and then spending a lot of money once they have the talent to execute. So maybe investors right now are seeing them spend a lot of money but don't see a lot of returns from their investment, and so shares are unfortunately down about 10% from their peak. But I still believe in the team. I still believe in Meta. And they have those new glasses that they rolled out. They're going to use the data they collect from all the videos and photos they're taking, and they're going to train their models. And so they're releasing those hardware, those products, those glasses. They're having revenue from that. And on top of the revenue, they're taking all of our data, all of our videos and things, and they're training their models to hopefully become better. So, and they've also kind of turned on a couple other things in order to gain more revenue on the WhatsApp. And I believe they said like a Instagram feature where you can pay for no ads, and that's more revenue coming their way as well. So I think they're finding clever ways to generate more revenue in order to pay for these advances and investments in artificial intelligence. But it's really just a matter of time. But I think if anybody's going to be able to monetize artificial intelligence and show that the spending has been worth it, Meta is going to be one of the companies that you can bank on. And that second company is Amazon. We've talked about Amazon. Their shares about 8% off of their most recent high. They're having a little bit more momentum as of most recently the past week than Meta. But Amazon was AWS. They are the leader in cloud, and it seems like a lot of folks have been either selling Amazon to put it into other companies like Oracle that are gaining these deals with OpenAI to roll out their AI infrastructure. And Oracle is a team that I guess they believe is going to be able to help them do such more so than Amazon. I believe Oracle has more advanced AI capabilities as far as their data centers and their infrastructure, maybe more so than what Amazon has. I think Oracle, the difference is Oracle has the most advanced and expensive chips, whereas Amazon doesn't have necessarily that strongest computing power as Oracle says that they do. But Oracle has their own challenges. Even though they have these partnerships that'll bring in and usher in a lot of money, there are other parts of their business fundamentally that is a little bit of a head scratcher. So for me, I like the best in the business. AWS is the best in the business still until I see or research anything otherwise. So I'm going to bet in the best in the business as far as artificial intelligence and AWS. Amazon's using artificial intelligence as far as their warehouses, and they deploy millions of robots in their facilities. So I believe this is one company, maybe even more so than Meta, is going to be able to take advantage of AI and really be able to have their company operating more efficiently. And unfortunately, that might mean some people are going to be losing their jobs. There'll be less opportunities, less jobs, and they'll be replaced by automation, by robots, of things of that nature. but I believe Amazon is a great bet on AI and is not going to be a part of that bubble conversation. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is Meta and Amazon two good companies and you can bet that's not going to be a bubble and you can ride the AI train? Or do you guys have other companies that you're looking at as far as AI investments that are not risky? They're fundamentally sound investments. So let me guys know what you think in the comments, in the video, or on my social medias. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.